July 2023. 10 months ago, I started to work on myself. Physically. By that, I mean working out. I'm a skinny kid, but I'm really not that insecure about my body. It's just that I know I could look better than this. So I started working out. Every single day. And for the first couple of weeks, I'm really energetic. I always look forward to working out every time I wake up because I have this vision in my mind that I know after months and months of doing this consistently, I'd look buff as hell, like guts type of buff. So even on rest days, I'm still looking for a way to work out, like maybe a stamina exercise or maybe just doing a few reps just to feel like I'm still doing something towards that goal even though I know it's bad for me. After a few months, around September 2023, I started thinking that this shit might not be working. Every time I look at the mirror, I don't see any progress in my body. I'm still skinny and nothing has changed. I started doubting my workout routine. Maybe it has something to do with it. Maybe it's not the right routine for me. Maybe I'm just not blessed with the genetics, or maybe I'm not trying hard enough and these last few months was just a waste of time. All these negative thoughts come to my mind all at once, attacking me like crazy. But then, I remember that since the start, I took a photo of my body post-exercise every few days and I look at it one by one. From day 1 to the day I'm currently in, I realized that I got a bit more muscles compared to me on day 1. And that shit made me happy. I also then realized that I got even stronger and how much more endurance I have. Like, I used to shake at my 10th push-up, but now I can do more than that. Even though you don't see progress, you still progress. But why? It's really discouraging when we work hard on something and not see any progress. Especially if you put your heart and soul into something and see no result. Even though there is. But why is that? I think it's because of how we perceive things. We have this thing called recency bias where we focus on the recent events rather than the overall. Since progress happens over a really long period of time, with the recency bias, it might seem that nothing's progressing. Take the story I told, for example. I was thinking my body is getting at least a bit bigger since I'm comparing my body to the yesterday's body. But if I look at it from an overall perspective, it gave me a new thing to compare other than my yesterday's body. Another thing might be a lack of goals. This is where you aim to be better at something. For example, right now on my gym progress, I just recently hit my 10th pull-up when I could barely do a pull-up 7 months ago. And that's something I celebrated. Once I hit that 10th pull-up, I know to myself that the last few months were definitely worth it. Okay, you might be getting tired of me talking about my gym progress. Let's switch it up and talk about my YouTube progress. So if you look at my channel, you can see that this is currently the 7th video. And as most of you know, to be successful on YouTube, it takes a really long time, and also luck. But that's not where my focus is at. My focus is at the quality of my videos over time. Even though this is my 7th video, I know for a fact that this video is much better than my first one. Through experimenting different stuffs I include in the video, I know what works and what doesn't. Like for example, I know that my previous video, the math one, has an editing style of using text to visualize stuff and is overall much cleaner than my previous ones where I just use a stock photo or a video clip while I'm talking. And I absolutely love it. Another reason why there might seem no progress at all is a lack in tracking. When we see no progress, we don't see any progress. That makes sense? No? Okay. It's like if YouTube took away its showing of stats for the channel, I'd be extremely discouraged. Another example again is my gym progress. If I didn't take a photo of myself from the very start, I might have quit and not attain what body I currently have right now. I'm sorry, I just can't move on from my gym progress. I'm just too proud of it, what can I say? And it's also such a relatable thing to take an example of. Moving on. Moving on is something we progress also. A breakup from a relationship is tough and we will all have to move on from it someday. But it's fucking hard. Especially if it was a long relationship, it's really hard. For the next few months, it might seem that you won't be moving on from the person anytime soon since you'll think of them almost every single night. Every single action you do, they'll pop up in your mind. It's tough, I know, but we move on. Especially if we try to move on. But the problem is, there's no thing to track progress of. There's no things to take photo of as progress. Wait. Yes, that. Takes photos of progress? No, fuckface. Start by deleting your photos of them. Block them in all social media accounts, cut off any form of connection. Distract yourself with your hobbies or find new hobbies. Do anything, just not do anything because the silence will make it louder. And over time, you'll realize that you don't think of them as much anymore. It might take a really long time because it differs for different people and that's fine. Just trust the process and time will heal you. Because we change as people. Compare yourself now from you 10 years ago. You are a much more different person. You are much wiser now than ever, have more experience and more knowledgeable among stuffs. And it might not seem like it, but we change as a person every day. It might be a 0.01% of a change, but over time, maybe after like around 100 days, that 0.01 would turn to 1. And it might not seem a lot, but take another 900 days and you have changed 10% of yourself. But our body changes around 1% every day. Literally. The cells in our body constantly change. Our skin cells, our blood cells, muscle cells, all types of cells change every second. This reminded me of something. Do you know about the ship of Theseus? It asks the question of, if you replace every part of a ship one by one until none of the original parts remain, will it be the same ship? The same thing also applies to us humans. Since our cells change, our mindset, our body, everything about us change, are we still the same people? This concept also extends to you, viewer. Who are you? Are you still the same person who first clicked on this video? And if not, at what point did you change?